So I want to get back onto Distant Worlds 2 because, I'm getting the itch. Getting the itch to kind of get my hands on a 4X kind of game. So let's dive right into this. And this is about Galactic Terrain in Distant Worlds 2. Welcome to a new Distant Worlds 2 dev diary. The article focuses on a problem common to all space strategy games. How do you get terrain or geography into a galactic map? We explore other games have approached this problem, how Distant Worlds 1 handled things, and how Distant Worlds 2 has the best of both worlds solutions to allow free movement while having natural barriers to movement. Terrain to strategy games. Let's take a look at this beautiful screenshot first. Cool. Terrain and strategy games. Most strategy games have a map. Many strategic games have a historical setting, and thus their map has natural terrain like hills, mountains, and oceans. These natural geographic features form barriers that define the shape of the map and how a player can travel across the map. So mountains and oceans can block travel or at least slow it down. Space strategy games do not have such obvious natural terrain. Definitely not. Usually, all the game action occurs inside star systems where planets are found. Spaceships must travel between star systems, usually via some kind of hyperdrive or jump drive. Let's take a look at this. Yeah. Wow. Can you imagine all those worlds? Jeez. Whew. That's a big map. All right, to provide natural terrain in space game, developers often employ arbitrary restrictions on travel. The classic example of this is the idea of star lanes, which I am not a fan of, where each star system has a limited number of paths to other nearby star systems. I don't like that. I remember Star Wars Empires at War did that, and I was like, why couldn't you just stick with like the Star Wars Rebellion, where you can go to any star system without lines? To reach a distant system, the player usually has to traverse multiple intermediate systems. These star lanes thus form the geography of the map or a galaxy, often entirely, preventing any other route to a destination. Star lanes definitely add shape and terrain to the map, but many players dislike them, including me, because they are very artificial and contrived. Thank you, I appreciate that. So inter-system travel in Distant Worlds 1. Distant Worlds 1 took a different approach to inter-system travel. In Distant Worlds 1, you could jump to any point on the map that was within fuel range of your ship. That's a good, middle ground right there. You could even travel into deep space far outside any star system. Many players like this flexible approach. However, there were some problems with this. I'm gonna get my hands on some eye candy here. This free movement approach without star lanes meant that there wasn't much geography to the galaxy. Star systems were less likely to appear in nebula clouds, so nebula formed natural gaps between star systems. But really, the only geographical constraint for movement was the varying distances between each star system. Distant Worlds 2, galactic terrain without star lanes. Yeah. All right, in Distant Worlds 2, we wanted to preserve the open travel mode of Distant Worlds 1. Thank you. Love it. We also wanted to add better galactic terrain, natural barriers that added interest and function to different parts of the galaxy. The answer to this was to use nebula clouds as a natural barrier to travel. Oh, okay. In Distant Worlds 2, nebula clouds dramatically slow hyperspace travel. The impact on travel time is so significant that it is usually faster to travel around the nebula rather than through it. Thus, nebula effectively become the mountain range analog of terrestrial map. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, if you ever watch like a Star Trek episode, they're like, we don't want to go in there, sir, kind of thing, In addition, hyperdrive components were slightly different in Distant Worlds 2. All hyperdrives have a defined jump range. This jump range limits how far a ship can travel in a single jump. Ships can travel as far as their fuel allows them, but usually their fuel range exceeds their jump range. The effect on these two new features, Nebula, that slow hyperspace travel, limited jump range, is that ships often have to plot a path of multiple jumps between star systems to reach a destination. Okay, I like that. That's a really good compromise. The precise path they choose is not fixed. It depends on their current location, their chosen destination, and their jump range. Okay, so this is what they're talking about. It's like this is a nebula. You can't go through it. You know, there's some kind of, I don't know, radiation in here that you can't, if you go through, you go KIA. So you have to go this way, this way, this way, this way. I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense. Some star systems may thus be naturally strategic locations in a gap between nebula that may, that many ships will pass through. Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting. Imagine like owning this star system right here, right? And it's a natural barrier. I mean, you can't go through here. That is cool. Okay. These locations may be good choke points or at least good monitoring points to keep an eye on traffic passing through the area. Nebula effects. Nebula clouds can also have other effects on ships and bases. As in Distant Worlds 1, some nebula clouds are the locations of galactic storms that can cause damage to ships with not inadequate defenses. However, we have broadened the range of effects to include different types of damage to various ship components. Galactic storms can also have effects like interfering with sensors or draining shield strength. Interesting. Some star systems can be found inside nebula clouds. You can still travel to these systems, but due to their impermeable nature of nebula, these star systems can in some of the most remote parts of the galaxy. Nebula can also affect long-range sensors. Ships and bases are very difficult to detect when they are inside nebula. Ooh. In addition, scanners cannot see through nebula, so you can't scan objects on the other side of nebula cloud. This can lead to blind spots. Ooh, I love this. Right. Distant Worlds 2 preserves the free movement of Distant Worlds 1. You can travel to any part of the galaxy, even locations in deep space. However, you must now navigate across nebula clouds and perilous galactic storms, often jumping through multiple systems to reach your destination. This new galactic approach to terrain and travel provides even more options for fun and strategy. Okay, I like this. So it adds like a whole new level here. So technically, like, let's say you want to get to, I don't know, there's a nation here, right? Like a conglomerate or whatever, right? And they own these star systems, and there's a massive naval force coming over, and, you know, you want to conquer them. Now, you want to, go this way, and then eventually get to them. But their entire naval fleet here, and it matches yours, and you're like, oh, this sucks, kind of thing. But you can kind of also send the fleets, I'm assuming if there's a planet here or something like that, you could send a fleet here and kind of go around, but take significant damage. Maybe, I don't know, get behind them or something. I mean, there's multiple strategies you could work out, which is, freaking love it, man. I freaking love it. And then you have the Galactic Core. Wow. Man, this is amazing. I can't wait for this game. I'm hoping they announce a 2021 release date. I know Matrix has just announced Combat Mission coming, in November. In a couple days, actually. I'm hoping later November, maybe December. I can't wait. All right, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Catch you next one. See you then.